I received my PhD in communication studies with a focus on organizational communication and technology from the Moody College of Communication at the University of Texas at Austin back in 2016. And currently, I am employed as a management consultant for Accenture. First job after coming out of my PhD program was assistant professor of communication studies at Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The reason why I took this job, a couple things. Number one, the the chair of the department at Marquette University is also a Longhorn alum. He is very good friends with my advisor at UT. So there was already a relationship built through the Longhorn network there. And then also, with respect to academic jobs, I always had a preference for working at a university that was actually in a city as opposed to a college town. And so, with Marquette being in Milwaukee with close proximity to Chicago, and with it being driving distance away from my hometown of Detroit, Michigan, and with it actually just being in a city that had culture and food and things to do, that's why it seemed to be a perfect fit. Most interesting project I've worked on would have to be helping a healthcare company migrate their data from on-premises servers into the cloud using Microsoft. The reason why it was most interesting was my role on this project was to conduct a stakeholder analysis, which essentially means talking to different people who are closely involved with this migration and finding out, what they hope the future state would be, what they're concerned about, what keeps them up at night, how we can support them and make this migration successful. And it was interesting to me because as I'm conducting these interviews, I'm getting a variety of viewpoints and a variety of other factors that myself and my teammates may have likely missed, but talking to people who are really close to it is bringing these items to the fore. I'll also add to that the most important skill that I learned during my PhD that I was able to leverage in doing this stakeholder analysis was qualitative research. So the act and the process of developing an interview guide, conducting these interviews, capturing the outputs of the interviews, and then using that to put together a story and really spell out what the client's concerns are, what they're scared of, but also what they're looking forward to, and the positives that they're getting from it. So I would probably say, yeah, that's the most interesting work I've done so far, and my PhD work as a researcher was definitely relevant. Understanding that the skills that I picked up during my PhD and during my time in academia in general are the real currency that made me a marketable fit for my current role. Understanding that skills like research, like problem solving, like communication, both verbal and written, being able to take these skills and translate them into a value proposition that shows how I can help solve problems for my employer and my employer's clients. That was the key in really helping me make the transition. I would say for PhDs who are maybe still working on coursework, still ABD, or maybe they just graduated but they're not quite sure what to do. Leveraged career services. Make sure that you are on handshake, and when companies come to visit for networking sessions or information sessions, you attend. You follow up with the speakers on LinkedIn. You get on their calendars and you have conversations on how you can fit and what the process would be to try to join the organization. I would also say networking is key, just in general. So just leveraging LinkedIn, making sure that when people come to campus, you are there, you're showing up, but also networking through national associations, networking through the local Chamber of Commerce. Your network is your net worth. You really never know what's going to happen or what opportunity is going to come your way based on just who you know and who knows you. So if anyone is not comfortable with networking, or if they feel shy or they're not effective, they don't have an elevator pitch, that's the key. That's a foundational tool with respect to making the transition. Skills are the currency. Both your traditional quote unquote hard skills, such as being able to use certain software, um, data visualization, things of that nature, graphic design, web design, what have you, video production, but also what some people call soft skills, what I refer to as power skills, communication, leadership, teamwork, critical thinking. Demonstrations of this skill set are what I'm looking for. I mean, a lot of what people do at work can be taught. There's a lot of training available. However, these skills I'm referring to, these are things that you can develop on your own. There are multiple resources for you to do professional development and get some skills badges, get some certifications, just really make yourself a great fit and a great problem solver for a potential employer by displaying your full repertoire of skills. Luckily for me, I had an opportunity to work for the Macomb School for the MBA Plus program. And by way of that, I got a chance to look at the Macomb's template for resumes. And I was able to use that template to take my CV and pull out the most impactful parts. And when I say impact, I'm saying you don't necessarily want to just regurgitate a job description. What you want to do is demonstrate how you made a department or business unit or an entire organization better. You want to be able to demonstrate, preferably in number form, how you were able to positively impact things like revenue, retention, profit margin, um, employee satisfaction, employee experience, things that can be measured. Being able to demonstrate your impact on an organization and show how you have quantifiably made improvements and solved problems. That's the key thing, and it's not easy. People really have a hard time with it. People are inclined to just say, "Well, I did X, Y, and Z." What they should be saying is, "I solved these problems. I increased this much by this percentage by doing X, Y, and Z," and that's the key there. I think that probably, if I have to pick out something, I was told by multiple faculty in my program to stay intellectually curious. People will always assume that, okay, when you're a PhD, you must know everything. And, it's actually to the contrary. I know a lot, but I also know what I don't know. And being able to maintain that curiosity fuels my continuous learning, and being able to continually learn is the way that I can add to my skill set and become more marketable.